Penelope Pendrick. And the Art of Deceit. Typewriter. Hello everybody, I'm Caitlin and we're playing Penelope Pendrick and the Art of Deceit. Michael played this game and I think he liked it, so I'll give it a try. Let's see, seasoned investigator, classic detective. Continue. Would you like to learn how to play? Yes, because I don't know. Let's see, so forward. Oh, okay. This is a work of fiction. References to real people are purely for the sake of storytelling. Uh-huh. Alright, so Penelope Pendrick, a writer by trade, has somehow found herself faced with the suspicious deaths of her elderly neighbor. As the sole individual to question the story, Penelope had to step into the role of the investigator to prove that it's not as it seemed. After piecing together the truth about Mrs. Jenkins' death, Penelope decided that her harrowing adventure was something worth writing about. Yesterday, she received a phone call from a small police force pressed by her publication. Woo! Let's see. Do 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 do. In preparation for our landing, please fasten your seatbelts and make sure that your tray tables are upright in the upright position. Okay, got our luggage. Telephone. Ah, telephone. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Miss Pendrick. This is Sergeant Russell. I'm going to be your contact down at the Carlisle Police Department during your stay here. Glad to see you had no problem finding your accommodation. I hope you've had some time to get acquainted with the police.
Let's see.
Good to meet you, Sergeant.
It really worked in our favor that you were able to fly up here on such a short notice. We knew it was a long shot, but it's only been a week and we're already losing our minds with this case. To put it mildly, the past week has been overwhelming. 3 people gone missing, one right after the other. Only a couple days in between each. Our entire department is 3 people, for crying out loud.
Oh,
we're not equipped to handle something like this. What we're equipped for is either graffiti related or have to deal with noise ordinance.
3 people in a week? All in this little town?
We've never seen anything like it. The worst part is that there's so many unknowns. Our gut is telling us that these disappearances are connected. You'd think they have to be, right? But try explaining that to the county chief. Without concrete proof, he just sees this all as a whole lot of coincidence, and potentially not even a crime. We're getting no outside help with this, no matter how much we beg.
Ah, okay. That answers why you brought me up here, rather than literally any cop in the state. That one was the real mystery.
Desperate times calls for desperate measures, they say. No offense.
None taken, trust me.
Officer Vasquez is the one that read the publication. He relayed it to me afterwards, and we all agreed that you seem to have some pretty solid intuition. It was his idea to reach out. Anyway, let's get down to business. I'll be sending you some documents that we...
Huh?
Unauthorized call time expended. Please enter 4-digit PIN to continue to use line.
Oh dear.
Unauthorized call time expended. Please enter 4-digit PIN to continue to use line.
Oh, darn.
I don't want to sleep now.
Let's see. Notes. Classified. Okey-doke.
I need something for this.
Oh, I should write that down. C 555 7283. Okay. Ah. Typewriter.
I need something for this.
Okay. Hey, the receptionist would know the code.
Looks like no one is using this right now.
Wait, it's 2016 and she uses a typewriter? Okay. That's a little strange. It's like 2016 and she's using a typewriter. It's really bizarre. Dead end. Don't want to push that. So which number was it for? Let's see, room 203. Okay. Let's see, 203.
Hello? Do you have a second?
Fine. What? Who even are you? Actually, you know what? Don't tell me. You've already wasted enough of my time.
I'm really sorry to bother you. I just have one quick question. Then I'll get out of your hair.
Well, spit it out. What do you want?
I just moved into the room next door,
My condolences to both me and you.
and I was kicked off the landline. It's asking for some kind of pin to activate it again.
If I tell you how that thing works, can we agree that this door is now permanently off limits?
Sure.
You don't need to ask me twice.
Now you're getting me. The phone code is 9, followed by your room.
Oh, see, was that really so hard?
Hey now, don't try to fight me at my own game. You don't have the face for it.
Hey, I never caught your name.
Did I drop it?
That exchange really brightened up my day.
Unauthorized call time expended. Please enter 4-digit PIN to continue to use line. Caller authorized.
Do.
Carlisle Police Department, Sergeant Russell speaking.
Hi, Sergeant. It's Penelope again.
Penelope! We got a guy here who bet you were already hightailing it back to Virginia. Zimmerman, you owe me 20.
Not quite yet, although I'll probably end up questioning that decision. Sorry about that, by the way. Getting cut off like that. The landline here is a little funky.
You're back, and that's all that matters. Now, what had I been saying?
Documents?
Something about documents, I think?
Yes, right. This in-person reports we have filled out for the individuals. I'll be sending you some copies soon, so look out for that.
These 3 people that went missing, what can you tell me about them?
The first call we received concerned Mr. Gerald Cook. He's an older gentleman, late 60s, who owns a bookstore on Main Street.
Okay.
The second, more concerning call was from Mrs. Eileen Davies, in reference to her son, Terrence.
Mm-hmm.
The boy had apparently not come home after school that day. He's only 15, which is really starting to raise some red flags. Then, only 2 days after that, a third person was called in.
Mm-hmm.
The caller couldn't provide a name for the woman. Only said that she's been coming to a specific diner for breakfast at 9 a.m.
So there's really no
every single
connection
day.
between any of the missing
This is
people.
the 3rd day in a row she hadn't shown up. The caller found this to be very out of character.
Okay. Tell me about Gerald.
Can you tell me more about Gerald Cook?
Never met the man personally, but I had heard his name prior to all this. His bookstore, Novel Books, it's a bit of a hub in this part of town.
Mm-hmm.
The place is practically a rec center for the entire population of Carlisle under the age of 65. In fact, it was one of those old timers that made the call at the crack of dawn to tell us that Gerald had opened up the shop as usual. Was nowhere to be found.
Mm-hmm.
Did the caller mention seeing any signs of a struggle or break-in?
We asked him to take a good look around for just that. He told us that the store was still completely locked up. Through the windows, everything looked fine, and there weren't any signs of forced entry. That day, we went out and interviewed maybe 20 or so people, and Vasquez canvassed the place once we got inside. Nothing. The place was pristine. Cash register locked. Interviewees all given the same story.
And what story was that?
Anyone who had seen him the day before said it was a perfectly ordinary day.
Mm-hmm.
Gerald had been his chipper old self. He locked up the store as usual at 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone witness him at all between 7 p.m. and opening the next day?
Not a soul. He even talked to the guy who seemed like Gerald's right-hand man running the store. He even had a key. Mitchell Hart, I think his name was. For someone who knew our victim well, he didn't have anything helpful to add. Say he didn't have a clue where Gerald normally goes after closing, besides home. He also took us to Gerald's apartment, right above the store. When we knocked, there was no answer.
I wonder if anyone else has a key besides this Mitchell guy. Maybe Gerald was mugged and someone pickpocketed him.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be right out of the ne'er-do-well's playbook. Mug an old guy in an alley, steal his keys, rob his place, then lock up on the way out. That's why right now, our first priority is to get into that cash register. If money is missing, that'll simplify everything and give us a little direction.
Because
For Gerald.
think that the motive is robbery.
The address of Gerald's bookstore is 225 Main Street. Go take a look around for yourself.
Okay, Terrence.
Can you tell me more about Terrence Davies?
Terrence just turned 15 a few months ago. If he was any younger, all the cops in the county would be swarming around this case like flies to a rotten luncheon. He's right at the age where the chief can shrug his disappearance off as a rebellious kid doing rebellious kid things.
Mm-hmm.
Does Terrence have any history of running away or causing trouble?
Not according to his mother, and at least not according to what we could piece together through the tears. Either way, we suspect she views her son through some rose-colored glasses, because interviews from fellow students and teachers at his high school painted a slightly different picture of him.
Did they describe him as some kind of bully?
Nah, nothing like that. He seems well liked, even by the teachers who call him disruptive and fidgety in the same breath. But
He probably has
it still doesn't make
ADHD.
him the little angel his mother described.
What exactly has he done?
You name it. He had a rebellious streak in middle school according to the school documents. Suspended multiple times. Never hurt anyone or anything like that, but played hooky a lot. Pulled the fire alarm once and also called a fake bomb threat in as a joke in the 7th grade.
Okay, then. I can kind of see where the chief is coming from.
But even if Terrence is just falling back into old habits, we still need to track him down for his mother's sanity. And by extension, ours.
What's his family life like?
It's just him and Mrs. Davis. No siblings, her father in the picture. Explains why she's so attached.
Could you tell if there was any strain in their relationship?
Who knows? From the sound of it, they spend more time together than an average mother and teenage son duo. But can't see under the surface.
Well, when and where was Terrence last seen?
Teachers, classmates, and friends all said he left school at 3 p.m. with the rest of the kids. He told his friends he was going hiking, which they said was a regular thing he'd do. No one has heard from him since.
Did he seem upset or anything as he was leaving?
Not that anyone mentioned. We'll get you in contact with Mrs. Davis. Once she calms down a bit, I'm sure she'll give us more to work with. Not sure how much luck you'll have with her, but feel free to give her a call. Phone number is 203-555-0927.
Can you tell me more about the diner woman?
Yes, Jane Dell. I wanted to call her Victim X. I thought it was catchy. But you know, protocol. She's our shakiest case by far. Called in missing by a waitress just because she decided not to get breakfast at the Sunrise Diner for a couple mornings. No wonder the chief won't give us the time of day.
But the waitress thought she had good enough reason to notify the police. So there must be something to it.
It's true that she's genuinely concerned. Said that the very few times Jane didn't show over the past couple of years, she leave little notes on napkins with the tip the day before. Not this time.
Notes? She didn't just tell them?
The waitress describes Jane as an incredibly quiet, solitary woman. Said when Jane first started eating there, she thought Jane was deaf, but no, she was quiet.
Well, if she was really that reclusive, that would explain why nobody knows anything about her.
There's our problem. Jane would only speak to order and say pleases and thank yous. She didn't sit around chatting up the help for hours.
If she wasn't there to hang out with the waitresses, what did she do every single morning?
Read books, lots of them. And not just the type with shirtless cowboys on the cover, but books with real substance, textbooks even, and all subjects especially history.
Okay, so first
Waitresses said
first
that
missing
Jane would
person
set
is a
up every day in the same
bookstore
room,
owner,
take
and
a few books out of her
Jane
bag,
likes to
and
read
and
books,
take
so
notes
that's a
while she
connection that they both like books.
Interesting. I wonder if doing this was work-related or a hobby.
And then the other missing person is just a missing teenager.
Did she frequent any other locations besides the diner?
My only guess would be a library. Winning all those books would cost an arm and a leg. Thing is, Carlisle doesn't have its own library, and there are too many to count in 80
Yeah,
towns.
she went to the bookstore, so that's a connection. It's probably she knew the bookstore owner, or that she went to the bookstore.
What did you investigate? And who did you interview in regards to Jane?
So yeah, that's a
What
connection.
can we investigate? No one knows her name, address, place of work, family, acquaintances. We examined her favorite booth at the diner and interviewed everyone who works there. All we know is that she's been coming there for roughly 3 years. Is quiet, reads a lot, and has tried everything on the menu.
None of the workers said she was acting differently the last day she was seen?
No one was paying enough attention to remember. But one of the waitresses did hold on to what's currently our shred of evidence. napkin with some chicken scratch. She was planning to return it to Jane the next day, but you know how that story ends.
Wow. This is like trying to track down a ghost.
You're telling me. All I can say is keep an eye open while you're investigating the other two. That's the best we can do right now. I'll send the napkin along with the other documents. So, Penelope, now that you know more about what we're dealing with here, what's going on through your head?
I think that they're
I
related
think the
because
disappearances are
they have the
related.
bookstore owner
In
and
a
Jane who
town
likes to read
this
books.
small, with barely any history of crime, it just seems
So
too
she probably either
unusual
knew the
to just
bookstore
be
owner or went to
coincidence.
the bookstore, so
Even
that's
if
connection.
we don't see any links between the victims yet, once we dig deeper, I'm fairly certain we will.
Interesting hypothesis. We'll see if it holds up. But first things first, keep an eye out for those reports we'll be sending.
Thanks, Sergeant. Guess it's time for me to get out there and start playing detective.
Good luck. Call us anytime. And thanks again for coming up here. Having a new nose around to sniff out leads might be exactly what we need.